The highly anticipated build 42 of Project Zomboid is finally here, bringing with it many changes, additions and new mechanics to the game. But one I was personally most excited about was the map extension and a huge new region that came with it. So I decided to explore the area, single out interesting new points of interest and do some sightseeing in all 3 new towns that came with build 42. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to easily tell if you want to move to the new region or stick with the old familiar towns. I started my journey in Echo Creek. It's a small town in the middle of the new region west of the big towns of Kentucky. To the south of it is bigger Irvington, to the west is the city of Akron, and to the north on the river is Brandenburg, which is just west of Riverside. I decided to start as a burglar, with a bunch of trades that will hopefully help me survive for longer and not hinder me too much. I mean, who needs to read books when all you need to do is explore? And I created Bud Light to go on an exploration trip. It's good to be back in Project Zomboid. Let's see how well build 42 is gonna treat us. Apparently I started with a pistol, and since we have some bacon in here, I'm gonna start cooking. And while it cooks, let's see how it looks outside. Our first fight of build 42. And as always, they go down easily. My bacon's cooked, which means we go back to exploration. Let's see if we can break into the shed and find something useful. Well, I found some fresh ham and a bottle opener, so I will take that as a win. This container looks fancy, and this dude's got a digital watch for me. Oh, I also found a meat cleaver and some more food. There's also a beat up car up there, and since I'm a burglar, let's see if we can make something happen. Oh yeah, no, this is completely beat up. So we continue on and check more cars. This one seems a bit better, although the gas tank is pretty empty. How about you? Oh, now we talking. Let's break in there and see if we can hotwire this bad boy. Now we are in business. So let's explore further down the road. Oh, there's a gas station right here with a repair shop. Oh, it is very dark in here. I don't like that at all. But even though it's very dark, this is a good place to find some gear. Like an empty gas can as well. And some nice chips. I'm now carrying way too much, which is a much bigger problem in this build, because there's a good chance you'll get muscle strain. So I need to fill these and throw them into the car right away, as these gas cans are much heavier than they used to be in the previous build. Now let's continue exploring. Crossing this river over here, there's trucking and transport building right here. Let's see what this place is all about. Sounds like there's plenty of zombies over here. Some military boys as well. Let's see if we can fight them. I got stupid and got scratched in the neck. Yeah, that was not the best idea. As you can see, we're getting minor muscle strain now from fighting with this one-handed weapon. But sometimes a man's gotta do what a man does and fight through pain and suffering. So we get to steal their good stuff. I'm taking the nightstick. I'll also take that shotgun and definitely the military backpack. I'm also gonna steal this water hydration pack and then see if I can fix my neck. Looks like ripping up clothing takes a lot longer now. Maybe if I had a knife it would go faster. But at least it gives me access to new bandages. And I also found a holster and more military boys. This one had a hunting knife and this one had another pistol. The fact that I got my neck scratched is far from ideal, but it is definitely preferable to death, as these guys can definitely tell you. I found whiskey to disinfect my wound now, so that will definitely be helpful. I'm gonna quickly check the neighboring house as well, which apparently has a basement. A very empty basement, but a basement nonetheless. It also has some zombies outside, but nothing Bud Light couldn't handle, even if he has to risk that muscle strain. Yep, there it is. Which could be a problem with more zombies coming up. And with my meat cleaver breaking. That left a broken blade in this guy's skull. Come my friend, I will help you. Apparently I'm also very uncomfortable, which I'm not sure exactly why. It might be because I'm completely bloody, or it might be my neck wound. Well, I am clean once again and my wound is bandaged. And while it's now midnight and getting dark outside, I want to go grab my car and bring it over here. Of course, fighting zombies just after I clean myself. But hey, little discomfort never hurt nobody. I just hope this doesn't attract more Zeds, which of course it did. So I gotta take care of them. Now even though it's almost 2 in the morning, my dude is still not tired enough to sleep. so I'm just gonna pass time until he is. It's now 5:30 in the morning and he is still not tired, so we'll fix our infected neck wound, disinfect some rags with the whiskey, and get back to exploration. Because clearly sleep is for the weak, and my boy is anything but. That's a lot of chicken out there. Now let's go check out this big old chicken farm. That is a lot of animals. By default, the zombies will not attack them, but you can always change that in the custom settings. Now east of the farm there's a lot of empty farmland, and besides some lonely farms out here, there isn't that much to see. But if you want to live in the rural area, this could be a place for you. Not that many zombies to be seen, and plenty of wildlife. I'm gonna stop to explore this rural storage area, see if there's anything useful I can grab from here. Broccoli and cauliflower, all rotten. Looks like that's mostly what it is. Besides some small houses in the area, this place is mostly just farms. So I will continue down south, onwards to some bigger towns. That's a cool looking vehicle right there. But for now I'm happy with what I'm driving. Oh, there's some rabbits in the fields out there. I'm sure they won't mind if I go and test out the new shooting thing. I'm not the best at this, but it kinda looks cool, especially with a shotgun. Unfortunately, I do not have enough shots for this. In fact, I am now out. And after 3 hits, my muscle strain is already back. So looks like fighting big hordes is gonna be much tougher in this build. I mean, I'm already in minor pain after fighting 4 zombies. And now it's in the red after fighting 2 more. And that is with 9 fitness and strength. I guess fighting really isn't good for you in this build. So instead, we go onwards to glory, where I have discovered Broad Cattle Farm, which has some really nice trailers, and a car that doesn't seem to be quite finished yet. And even though my muscle strain is still there, I want to fight these zombies just so I can check up on this place. Maybe I can stomp on them. Hopefully that doesn't strain my legs. Oh well, there's more out here. But if I can deal with them one at a time, then we're gonna be good. I also need to test the new sneaking mechanic, and I actually managed to hide behind the car from this zombie. Although when I start moving again, he hears me. Pretty interesting, maybe sneaking will actually have a point now. Let's see what we've got in here. Looks like mostly storage. And whatever this is. Maybe an auction place for livestock? That could be it. But nowadays, they just auction zombies. Apparently something smells bad around here. I wonder if it's me or these rotten bodies on the ground. Probably a little bit of both. Also, I decided to switch cars, mostly because this car can carry more stuff. Also, I'm finally getting drowsy now, after running around for more than 24 hours, which is actually pretty impressive. While now might be a good idea to find a place to rest, I wanted to check this pig farm, and it is absolutely huge. I'm not gonna risk fighting zombies for this. Being drowsy and getting muscle strain sounds like a terrible idea. But yeah, this area is definitely huge. There's deer and sheep over here. I wonder if I can hit them with a car. That one is just going in a circle. I wonder if I can hit it with a car. Oh yes, you can. Oh, I'm so sorry, deer. I could butcher it or pick it up. I just hope running it over didn't completely ruin my car. Seems decent-ish for now. I'm carrying a whole deer. Let's throw it in the back. There's also some rocks out there in the fields, which I wonder if I can mine at some point. Now, since I am getting tired and we are nearing the big town, I wonder if I can find a place to rest. Although I cannot imagine fighting these guys while tired will be easy. Not at all. Now let's see if we can actually get in here. It does look like the whole place is barricaded, and I don't have a way to open it from outside. So I'm gonna need to continue on, and hope I find another place. Maybe right over here. This one doesn't seem too badly infested, and as long as I can clear them one by one, we're gonna be good. And here's the muscle strain. There is one more. And I am now out of breath. Let's see if we can learn something from the TV in the meantime. I totally forgot that we are still in the early days. And this one gave me 1 point in agriculture. Now before we sleep, I want to wash myself. Get our uncomfortable levels a bit lower. Even though the clothing like this police vest is making me more uncomfortable. So I guess if you want to feel safer, you're gonna need to decide what's more important to you. Protection or discomfort? I'm also gonna find this VHS tape, which gives gives me a story about a survivor who I guess was loaded and ready. And I'm now loaded and ready to sleep. After a good night's sleep, my dude is still feeling kinda shitty. Which, to be honest, is a him problem, not a me problem. Also, look at this beautiful new dragon animation. I kinda like that. Now, let's continue our exploration. We're now soon gonna be coming up on the town proper. And there's already the first little suburb houses. There's some bigger stuff here. The Pleasant Motel. I wonder how pleasant it is in the zombie apocalypse, although it does have some nice fencing around. Looks like there's some more businesses out here. They do have a bit of more of a abandoned feel. A metalhead tool shop would be interesting. And there seems to be another office type of building here. And there's the gas station. We do have a steakhouse here, greens, and some pharma stuff. And another gas station on the main road going up north, with a junkyard nearby. And then some smaller housing again. Farming and rural supply shop. And then back to the suburbs. There's also a big fire department here. And a town hall. Plus some more factory looking like buildings, and that's probably a bar. We have a car shop here, and now if you follow the railroad up here, we get the Knox Bank. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be robbing that. I guess this might be some kind of a storage unit here, and then there's some nicer stuff. Oh, looks like this is a doctor's place. There's a big church over here, and a proper football field, which means that this is probably a school. A really big school place. Two of them together, maybe high school and primary. And we have more suburbs. Most of the houses here are spread out nicely, some of them even have tall fences. So I could see this being a very nice noob friendly area. You even have a pool here. I wonder if you can still fish in the pools. Now that would be a nice place to live. There's more of them, so maybe cool for multiplayer basis. Right next to what seems to be some kind of a construction yard. And a Lucky Noodle place. There's also a small shopping center right here and a pancake house. And there is also a Gigamart next to the Lucky Noodle. And going back to this residential area where we also see Spiffos and another hardware store. That then kinda completes the circle of the area. There's a VHS store right next to the gas station. I didn't even notice this. So to get you an idea where we went up here, then all the way down here and circled around. I'm gonna check this side of the town as well now, where we have a tobacco shop and what seems to be a big residential complex. Since we are behind tall fences, I'm gonna do a quick check of my car, which is not looking that good, but it will have to survive for a bit longer. Going further east, instantly we have more farms. So I'll go further north and swing back to the city from this side, which again leads to more residential areas. And crossing the railroad again leads to more residential, this one behind tall fences. So that could be a cool place to stay as well. There is definitely a lot more variety when it comes to the new town. And to be honest, I'm all for it. And now with the sightseeing down south mostly completed, I'm gonna see if I can quickly refuel the car here. Well, the zombies apparently don't even see me due to my high sneak. And when I say high sneak, I mean level 2 sneak. Alright, fine, maybe some of them can see me. But just a couple never hurt nobody. And it seems like stomping is the best way to avoid muscle strain, which is very doable as long as you fight one-on-one. Now, let's refuel. Let's see if we can find something good in here. Like barbecue chips. And some more barbecue chips. There's also a cigar here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that one. This gas station would make for a nice base. Because there's also the upstairs area, which looks very cozy. But I'm not gonna stop yet. I'm gonna take the long empty roads up north, which are not necessarily as empty as you'd think, for there seems to be some kind of industry here and also a junkyard, which looks like an amazing place to level up metalworking. So yeah, I know I'll be coming back to this small rural town in the middle of nowhere, just for that sweet metalworking XP. And for you that want to know where that was, the junkyard was somewhere right here, which is just north of the city we explored earlier. Now right now we are near some lakes and some industrial areas just west of where we spawned first. Looks like there's a bunch of warehouses and factory buildings here. Looks like this was a steel farm, and the workers are not too happy to see me here. I do wonder why. There's some tall fences around here as well. And since the zombies don't yet have the ability to break tall fences, the ability that should be coming later in build 42, those tall fences might feel like safety right now, but this alarm definitely does not feel like safety. Especially since I can barely see where I'm driving in here. I guess it's time we leave this area and continue further north to Akron through lots of empty farmlands that led us to this crossroad. Now following this road east, it would bring you all the way back to the highway that circles around between the big cities of the OG Kentucky. But we're gonna go further west here. Although since it's getting kinda late in the day, I think I'm gonna seek shelter instead and see if I can make this my home. Now let's see what we have in here. We got some VHS tapes, which I'll definitely watch after I deal with the residents. Now let's learn about cars, which got me to level 1. Then we watch some exposure survival, where I learned about trapping and some fishing. And now since my boy is tired, we sleep. Hey, I caught the morning cook show. That got my cooking to level 1. Now with all those amazing skill ups in hand, we continue exploring and it looks like we found a generator. That one definitely looks different than the OG ones. Now, let's go to Akron. And as you get in there past the first small houses, instantly there's a giant community center, which probably works as a school as well. Back on the main street we have a mall service and a gas station on the other side. There's a construction site over here and what seems to be a burned out train blocking the road. So going up here the main street is not gonna be quite possible without a sledge. So let's see if we can bypass that. There is more lovely residential around here. And yes, this road does lead over the railway. So swinging back down here, we get to see the good stuff that is in town. It's probably selling books, I would imagine. Clothing store there, medical center, pharmacy, banking, greens. And that's probably a gun store. I wonder if you can get in without a sledge. Oh yes, you can. That's definitely gonna be one of those places people want to come early on, as you can get plenty of good stuff here. But for now, we do want to continue our exploration, not actually grab guns. This gun store was just past the broken train and this beer and liquor store right here on the corner of this building. There is a church on the other side of the road. Otherwise, the place is mostly residential. Now going back across the railway, we got what seems to be mostly suburbs. And since my car is now taking engine damage, I'm gonna see if I can steal another. Just need to get rid of the locals. And then we fuel up. Then we hotwire and we got ourselves a new machine. Probably not as good as the other car. Definitely not perfect for off-road season, but it will have to do. Now let's see what lies ahead. More farms and more residential it seems. And some nice swimming pools as well. Now if you leave Akron going further north, there is once again more wilderness, which is definitely gonna be a cool place to be when wilderness survival becomes more of a thing. Also, I just spotted a cow. Look at this nice little thing. I can pet it. Who's a good boy? Or I guess in this case girl. Hey, that gave me some animal care XP. Let's see if petting it again does it again. Nope. I'm gonna name this cow Steve. And you know what, Steve? Have fun out here in the wild. Oh, Steve actually has a bull friend. Good for them, I say. Now, since there is a lot of emptiness between Akron and Brandenburg up here, I'm gonna check some of these smaller farms out there and see if any of them are worth exploring. This one's got a nice mansion feeling. Whoever lived here was definitely in the money. That is a cozy place for sure. It's got a fireplace here as well, and a storage lot where I found some good stuff. New tools are always good. And that might be exactly what I was looking for. Although I can imagine the muscle strain will get pretty bad pretty quick. Upstairs we got some nice bedrooms. And further upstairs is where what looks like a drunkard lives. Or I guess in this case, has lived. The secondary house also has a fireplace and bedrooms. I guess that's where the farmhands would be living. Although now they are living no longer. And this is probably where they ate. Or just generally chilled. It does look like a nice place for chilling. And my muscle strain is already popping in, which probably means it's time to go through the vast forest lands and even vaster farm fields. It seems like all of these farmers were living the good life. It does look like the farming pays off. Oh yeah, that is a huge mansion. It seems that the residents are still here, but not for long, because this is my place now, and I don't like no neighbors. But let's see what lies upstairs. Yeah, this place is even cooler. This could be a really nice survival place. far away from everything, where you could just be farming with the boys. But tonight we drink tequila alone, and we raise a bottle for all of those who are not with us any longer. Yeah, that's nice and fuzzy. And as the morning comes, we drive onwards to glory. Check out some of the smaller farming places, just to see if we can steal stuff from them. And then we make a run for it, to see what more of the farming mansions have to offer. I mean, just look at all the stuff. These guys were living the good life out here. They even have a well. Hopefully there's no corpses down it. Also, a giant patch of ready to harvest cabbages. Yeah, you can live off of this for like a couple of years. Oh, but now one patch only gives you one cabbage. That is a big change. Maybe it is based on the new agriculture skill though. To be honest, I don't know, but I am excited to learn, as there seems to be a huge amount of new stuff to learn in Build 42. Yeah, content creators will be eating good for years to come. So if you want more Project Zomboid, you should totally subscribe now. The upstairs area of this mansion doesn't seem to be finished yet, so we continue onwards. We drive further north towards Brandenburg, past the giant fields, which seemingly extend forever. But now we're back on what seems to be the highway here, and that one leads straight north to Brandenburg. But I want to visit a couple of smaller places first. Like this beautiful thing over here. Some kind of a country club, probably? Actually, it's Brantford's Quill Manor, and there seems to be quite a few residents still around. I wonder if I can let them go play tennis here, and then I sneak around. Potentially that kinda worked, but there's always some stragglers around, and those I have to deal with. Just gotta beware that muscle strain. That one is the worst. Yep, here it comes. And I'm already out of breath. With level 9 fitness and strength, that is insanely fast. It does look like the devs don't want us fighting anymore, which I can't say I'm a big fan of. Those new guns gonna really have to be worth it, as playing melee might be too slow and dangerous now. But anyway, just look at this place. This is where our lord or a lady would live, or a female OnlyFans influencer. Definitely not for basic bitches like myself. But get a squad of the boys over here, and we're taking this over in multiplayer. For those interested, this mansion is right outside of Brandenburg here. Quite far outside though, but yes, definitely a prime target for those multiplayer sessions. Now, let's explore further. Run away, little rabbits, else I'm gonna get you. I'm sorry, little ones, I did get one. I'm just gonna pick him up for now. This rabbit weighs almost as much as this deer. Let's be real, I did not expect that. Coming up on our right, we seem to have a pig farm over here. I wanna see if I can pet them. Yes, I can. That gave me some more points in animal care. And if I pet this one, yeah, it's an interesting way to level up the animal care. Now in here we got rats only. I doubt you can pet those. Just like you can't pet these zombies. I'm continuing further northwest, where I'm not yet sure what I'm seeing over here. This is probably a hangar? Not sure for what though. There doesn't seem to be an airstrip around. Oh no, there is down here. So it looks like this was some kind of an airport. Probably something small and local. Now before we continue, I have to quickly refuel my car. Although with how beat up it's starting to look, I'll probably need a replacement soon. Now I'm moving closer to the Brandenburg proper, but since it's getting later in the day, I'm gonna seek shelter for the night before I continue exploring. And this here mansion seems like a good place. Just need to make sure I'm the only one here. This was some kind of a bar, or maybe a country club, and somebody got a speeding ticket here. Was it you, my friend? Oh, this seems to be a motel. That's a very nice looking motel. Again, a good place for a big multiplayer base. Although for some reason all the bedside tables have the Bible in it, while most bedrooms don't even have a bathroom. What is wrong with you, America? Now before my bedtime, I'm also gonna check these cars here. There's a good chance some of these would be better than mine, because mine is starting to get beat up. I decided to grab this one. While it's far from the best, it will do. It can definitely carry way more than my previous one. And now we rest for the night. Now before we continue in the morning, I wanted to butcher this rabbit. To be honest, just to see how this goes. Oh, it leaves a skeleton on the ground. And I got a rabbit's head and some rabbit meat. Plus, I still have the same rabbit in my backpack, which after cutting again, I got another head. I guess this butchering thing might still be broken for now. It is unstable build after all. Also wanted to see what happens if I butcher the deer. Let's butcher this one as well. There's the skeleton on the ground, and there's the stag head and some venison. Actually, a lot of venison. I'm gonna leave the head behind, and I'm gonna cook this meat. It does look like hunting with a car. Definitely pays off. We're gonna be eating good as we explore the last and seemingly the biggest of the 3 new cities, Brandenburg. There's a tall fence over here. It seems to be a prison here. Now that's gonna be a great place to try and survive in. Although right now I definitely don't want to go in there. By the way, it sounds like there's an animal in here. Yep. There's a cow in there. Run, little thing, run like the wind. We did a good deed today. We rescued a cow. Let's try not to run it over. Checking further north, it seems like we get to a bridge here with some broken fencing. Oh, that's a lot of zombies over here. Probably not a place where I should be. So let's remove ourselves from the premise. Now, let's see what the Brandenburg proper has to offer. It's a small gas station which looks nice with a diner nearby and a medical clinic next doors. Further east, there's residential, and I think these paths should lead me to the biggest sightseeing target. There it is. The big boat where you can have a breakfast or whatever. It's right here on the river. But with the zombie population, I don't think I'm gonna be visiting it today. I'm just gonna check down here and see what these places have to offer. Like a bookstore and a giant nursing home. Wouldn't want to be near that in a zombie apocalypse. Definitely not. Brandenburg doesn't only seem to be the biggest of the cities, it also seems to be the most populated. There's mail service area where the Americans get their brides from, and we have a big police station nearby with some dining areas and a big church. There's lots of nice and tall residential buildings around, which extend quite far if we continue going south. Also, this motel seems to be more shady with those well-lit windows down there. Also, whatever this thing is, it seems like some survivors have tried to rebuild this area right next to the gas station that seemingly burned down and also has been rebuilt. This over here looks like a giant mall. And further north we have a firehouse, which is the actual eating firehouse, and then the firehouse. This one is ginormous. There is also the middle school further up, and swinging past some residential, we got whatever this thing is. And then some more stores. I think this is all part of the big mall. And that is one giant American Tire here, next to a diner. I guess the American Tire isn't so giant because this is a big mall area with different stores. You're gonna probably have to fight some zombies to get in here, but it will probably be worth it. So yeah, this all here is a big old shopping area. South of the shopping center, we got a fish dining area next to a lake. That one looks pretty cool. If you want to try the new fishing mechanics, that might be the place to try it. While on the other side of the highway, we got a giant storage area. We're probably gonna need a sledge for this now, because I'm pretty sure you can't debate zombies inside of these things anymore to get a key from them. Unless a zombie spawn inside, they won't have a key for the place. Which is sad because masturbating zombies inside to get their keys was a good thing. But I guess the Indie Stone thought it was too cheesy. Which, let's be real, it kinda was. Now in the center of the suburbs we have some really big houses and a giant community center. This thing truly is large. Now we are back to the mail service. This is a street I missed before with some more shops. There's a Knox Bank as well and an ammo store. The ammo store is right here, just south of the boat with all the zombies. So good luck with that. Now if you go west of the retirement home, the road slowly leads you down here to Riverside. But I'm gonna go visit the trailer park as well and see what else is there to see in between. This right here is probably some kind of a bar slash motel where you can have your band play as well, or you know, just get drunk. It also have a warning for restricted area here, which seems to be leading down into the basement. So let's see what lies down here. Pretty big yet empty place, but it's cool there's a basement here. Now down here we're instantly hitting farmland again, all around the roads leading down to the trailer park, which seems to be fenced in with some tall fences. Alas, not on every sides. It's probably a decently big enough area to loot, but otherwise you're probably not getting much out of it. Now I'm gonna follow the railroad tracks further south, just to see what this is all about. It looks like the tracks lead to a factory. Alas, an empty and abandoned one. Or maybe not fully built? Well, definitely a ruin, and not really a place you're gonna be visiting. I have to say, all the cities and smaller points of interest all across this new region of the map look a lot more lifelike and lived in, and I think the devs have done an amazing job bringing them to life, and I'm extremely excited to continue exploring them in proper playthroughs during build 42. But for now, Bud Light goes to retirement home. Thank you everyone for watching.